Hello and welcome to No Man Living Guy. My name is Scott. This is part 3 to living while overseas. Legal requirements. Well, a lot of these renters, your landlords, will ask about your legal status. So make sure that you have the paperwork for you to live longer, to live in the country. So that means you probably need a work permit, work visa, or have a temporary residency. This is for mostly the new people who are trying to live abroad. You know, see what's the requirements. Even buying properties, can you do that? Some countries are clamping down on that. You have a property and you tell the officials what you're doing. They may not like it, and you may get denied. So always see what your legal rights are in the country. So when you're renting an apartment, I was always asked, what is our legal status? Do we have the documents updated? Is it current, relevant, and all that goodness? Understand your rental agreements. It's going to be usually in a foreign language. So again, that helps when you have a friend or someone who can speak the language and can explain to you what the agreement is. Documentations and prepare for necessary documents like your passport and proof of income in some places. I have never really had to show my income. I don't really need. I, I wouldn't really feel comfortable to show people I am um, just not comfortable showing my income. So if you are okay with that, cool. If you're not, well, don't be afraid to walk uh, you know, I wouldn't do it, but I have never been asked that. Usually, they see that American passport, and that's. I usually had never had questions, but I know the landlords or some of my potential landlords were trying to see what else they can get money out of me. What's your again when you're going for your contract? Make sure you know what's when you're going to get your security deposit. What are they legally to how can I say it? When you are going for your contract, make sure will you be given your security deposit when you leave? Most of the time, I'm always given something. If there's something wrong with the apartment, they take something out of my security deposits. Um, but I try not to go around breaking my own things or breaking things in my apartment. So I never had this problem. I have heard other people have this problem. Um, you know, but I tend to avoid those type of dramas. Knowing your also it's recommended to know local laws because here in Poland, I was told and never verified it's hard to actually kick out the renters. Polish laws are kind of seem to be more in favor for the renters than the landlord. Kind of interesting. So yeah, so know the local laws. Can they kick you out? Can they not? It's always best to know some of the laws. Where can you find that? Well, Google is usually a good place. And then you could also try to look for like a immigration lawyer if you have a question. Usually, and again, there's usually several lawyers on the expat forum pages. Okay, what other recommendations? Um, Basically, is just know your contract. What you What are you responsible for? Maintenance? Are you supposed to clean the apartment? The people who were living in my people who lived in my apartment before me, well, they didn't really clean the apartment, and my wife spent a day cleaning the whole place before she let me start moving stuff in. The landlord didn't really, I guess, didn't push hard. I don't know. So there's that. Oh, no, the responsibility of paying your bills. Oh, that's, well, funny part this week. I had an internet bill. Here in Poland, they don't shut off the internet. They make your internet speed really slow. Oh, it gets frustrating. You're like, kept asking my wife, I'm like, we paid the bill, right? And she kept saying she did, and I'm keep thinking we didn't because I couldn't watch YouTube, and I couldn't watch some tutorials, and had to keep asking her, and she finally come back and says they did something with our bill. Yeah, so make sure you're updated on your utility bills. Um, another thing in Ukraine, if your internet bill you didn't pay on time, they shut off your internet. So, I mean, that's a good reminder. Like, oh, I need to pay my bill. And usually, I don't really pay a fine. I just pay the whatever I'm have to pay, and that was good. I'm good to go. When you're doing paperwork, this one's a hit and miss. Register with your local authorities. Well, I'm trying to apply for temporary residency. So definitely, local governments always asking about where I live. I had this one case where I was trying to apply for a temporary residency in Ukraine, and my landlord wouldn't let me use their address, and it was really weird. Eventually, my employer just said use the company's address, and they'll deal with the government. But the government never came, or no one really checked on me if I was living at the school. It was kind of funny, but that has happened. You can argue like, oh, that was Ukraine. Well, yeah, but uh, that was the norm. But you know, when you're doing your paperwork, always make sure you be prepared to register your address and explain to your landlord that you'll be needing to use the address. And you can kind of tell if your landlord is up and up or he's kind of shady. What I mean by that is my experience is a lot of times you can spot them out if they're being shady and they're kind of hesitant and keeps making excuses, and you're like, why am I living here when it kind of feels like it's illegal? Because you could also get in trouble. Again, they keep recommendation when you're renting an apartment is insurance. It's up to you if you want insurance. Me, I don't. And tax obligations. Well, if you're going to be living in a country, they definitely want your address. I hear in Poland, and my home address is my work address, and so it's easier for them to track me.